All right, what's going on, guys? So today I'm gonna do a quick unboxing on the MX Ergo or Ergonomic or Ergo. I just picked this up yesterday and I am really excited about this. This one was about $100 and I picked it up from Staples. I think Best Buy has it and you can get it on Amazon. So let's kind of get into the unboxing. The one thing that, let me get this open. The one thing to keep in mind is this one is going to replace the M570 that's right here. So there was some issues that I had with the M570. The biggest one probably had to be battery life, and the trackball kind of got stuck sometime. Now, sorry about the noise, but I'm a soccer dad, so I tend to have a lot going on. So kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, so this is it right here. This is the Ergo, the MX Ergo trackball from Logitech. And like I said, it's replacing this one. Now they've made some improvements to this one, which is going to be the optical trackball, as well as you can recharge this without having to put AA batteries in it. So let's see if we can get this thing open here. Sorry. Oh, that was pretty easy. All right, let's put this to a side there. And one of the first things I noticed is that, put that to the side. Well, the first thing I want to kind of talk about with this one is the DPI. It has a DPI of about 440. It maxes out about 440, which is really nice. So when you want to get into those really minute situations, you'll be able to do that. Now, in contrast, I've been using the MX Master 2S, which has a DPI of about 4,000, which is really, really accurate. But the big reason that it has that is because you can pretty much use this on any surface, even glass, and it should be able to pick up on pretty much any surface that you're working on. 400 here, so it should be pretty accurate. Now, one thing that you do have here, if you can see, it has a what they call a precision button. So where you're just kind of scrolling through, going through websites and things like that, you can just kind of keep it in, I think it's called like a flow mode. I'm not exactly sure, but it's not going to be as detailed. But if you press this button right here, as you can see, you can actually get really detailed in what you're doing. This is really going to work good for someone like me who uses Final Cut Pro when I'm trying to, clip a certain frame or something like that. But stay tuned for my full review when I kind of give details on how well this actually performs. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this button, it only stays active to precision mode for about 5 minutes. And I think that may have to do with battery life. So, you don't kill the battery on this thing by keeping it in precision mode. And on top of that, you don't want to keep it in that mode. And then, when you're scrolling through websites and things, it's all really, the trackball's not moving too much. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, speaking of battery life, this one is going to give you about 4 months of battery on one charge, whereas though the M2X only gave you 70 days. So improvement on battery life, which is pretty cool. Some other things to keep in mind is the actual there's an actual LED at the bottom right here, right under the 2 and 1. I haven't turned this on yet. But what'll happen is this will stay green. Now, when it gets below 10%, it'll turn red. So it'll give you an option to recharge your trackball. Also, there's probably going to be some notification on your computer as well to kind of give you a heads up that you need to charge this as well. Unfortunately, it's using a micro charger, which I don't know why they're still doing that, but it does use a micro charger. I think we should just go ahead and just move on to USB-C, since that seems to be the standard for most of the new phones coming out and computers and things of that sort. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, right here, you have a scroll wheel, which I'm not too happy about because it doesn't have the hyper scrolling like the MX 2S. It doesn't have the hyper scrolling, so you know, if you're scrolling through something like a large document, you can kind of just scroll it and it'll kind of go down and you can kind of stop it exactly when you want to stop it. This doesn't have that, unfortunately, so I'm not too crazy about that, but I'll give you my review in terms of if it's something that I can get used to. I think I probably can get used to it because before this mouse right here, I didn't have a mouse that had the hyper scrolling. So that's one of the big differences that I'm seeing between the 2S and the Ergo. You do gain on the scroll wheel itself left and right horizontal scrolling, which is kind of nice. The feedback doesn't actually seem too bad, so you shouldn't have any issues. And a lot of times with these left and right scrolls or panel left and right, the actual scroll wheel gets kind of mushy, but the feedback seems pretty good. On the 2S, you did have a scroll wheel on the side right here, which was nice. I felt like it had some really good feedback, but from an ergonomic standpoint, I didn't feel like it was the best of a horizontal scroll, but it worked out good for me. Now keep in mind, the scroll wheel also works as a click button, so you can actually click the button. You can click the scroll wheel in and it acts as a button, and you can, you know, designate that button for whatever you want. In fact, you do have buttons here, just like on the 2S for back and forward, like if you're going through websites and things like that. But right here, you have the back and forward buttons right here. You can also program these buttons with the Logitech application itself. So, you know, you can actually program it to a specific application. So when you're in that application, it'll work for the operation that you want it to work for. And when you're in another application, it'll do the same. A couple more things. They both have fast charging, which is nice. Like I mentioned, they do have micro charging. Now, for 1 minute of this one right here, it'll give you a day 1 minute charge. And then for this one, if you charge it for 3 minutes, you'll get a 1 day charge. So looks like this one's going to charge a little bit faster in comparison to the 2S. Just remember, these use AA batteries. You have to replace these things so often. They both have a nice rubber feel to it, so they feel really good in the hand. And one other cool thing, this has an adjustable hinge that you can, I haven't figured out how to, I guess you can adjust it some kind of way. You can adjust the hinge. I guess, okay, so you can go from, you can go at 20 degrees, or I thought it was like adjustable, or a 0 degrees angle on this trackball, which is nice. So it's gonna allow you to work on things and, you know, your hand's gonna stay comfortable. But that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for my full review when I'll be running this guy through its paces. It should be out in a couple weeks, but I am really excited about this. I'm so excited that I don't have, well, I stopped using this because I went with the 2S, but I'm really excited that they was able to update this trackball. It feels really good though. But other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. If you have any questions about the Ergo, feel free to leave the comments below. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is you do get this, what they call a unified USB, and you can plug this in to your, well, I can't plug it into my computer because I have a, let me show you. I have a MacBook Pro, but because I have USB, so you need to get a dongle. I'm not sure. I emailed Logitech to see if they're going to come out with like a USB-C version, but they haven't yet. So they said they're kind of working on it, but Logitech, we need a USB-C version of this. The one nice thing about this unified thing, it's a 2.4 gigahertz range, as well as you can hook up to 6 Logitech devices at the same time. So let's say you have a computer and mouse at home, you have one in the office at work, and then you have another one, I don't know, at someone else's house, or maybe another part of your business or something like that. But yeah, you can hook up 6 different devices. I guess the same thing you can do, because they do have Bluetooth. I'm not sure what the version is. I'm guessing 4.0. You can hook it up. You can hook up multiple Bluetooth devices to your computer, but not sure how that affects battery life. But in my testing, I'll try to find out exactly how that works. But that is it. I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned for my full review on the MX Ergo Plus. Until then, I'll talk to you next time. Oh, if you like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to QC Dads, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more amazing videos from me. Well, that's it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.